Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Between Paychecks Kitchen. I'm Oz, Jack Later still like Jackson. So this one's still coming from my little shitty alley kitchen in Dickinson, Texas, of all places. So the other reason I mentioned where I'm at is we're going to do a Gulf Coast thing. Well, I guess you can get it anywhere, but we do it a little different here in Texas, so it's going to be great. Going to make some crab dip. No cooking in this one, so it's just going to be a bunch of mixing and whatever. So it's going to be nice, simple, hopefully quick, because, man, I'm so behind on everything. And before we get into it, be sure to like, share, subscribe to all the YouTube stuff, ring the little bell, get notifications when we do these. And also there's a link down for our merch down in the doobly-doo. We're a small business. We very much appreciate that. And let's just get into it. All right. Looks like a lot of stuff, but kind of doubled up here. So you're going to need some cream cheese. You want to kind of soften it. You're only going to want 2 tablespoons of that. You want to make sure it's just kind of soft. 8 ounces of the imitation crab meat. This is just one of these packages. Don't use the real crab because, you know, it's cheaper this way. Optional, you want to put some green onion or jalapeno in there. If you do, again, it's great. It makes it more like here. You're going to want some mayo, some straight mayonnaise, only like 2 tablespoons of that. You're going to need a little bit of this Old Bay seasoning, which absolutely makes the flavor on this kind of stuff. Now, you're going to want some kind of hot sauce. My go-tos are Valentino and Truff, which are just 2 of my favorites. But I also got this new one I was thinking about trying, this curry habanero stuff. So if you tried that out before, let me know. I'll use the Truff stuff here. You're going to want some lemon or lime juice. I'll go with lime juice because Gulf Coast for whatever reason. You're only going to need like a teaspoon of that, so don't worry about it. Salt and pepper if you're into that kind of stuff, just for your personal seasoning stuff. And because Texas, I add a little bit of the soap plant, cilantro. Again, optional if you don't want to add that stuff. If you want something to dress it with, crackers or chips, I prefer the chips because I do that. First things first, let's wash our veg, man. Once you get these nice and scrubbed down, get you a nice sharp knife and a cutting board. Shout out to, and this is my dad that gave me this cutting knife. Cut off these little rooty parts, throw those away, and then just cut this down. Super fast. Gonna do a lot of fast forwarding in this one just to make it easier and faster. Once you get those cut down, just move them aside. Now make sure to cut your green onions first before you cut your jalapenos because they'll cross-contaminate if you're making more than one batch, or you have people that just don't like jalapenos, whatever, and you're trying to make a smaller batch for them. Do the jalapenos second because like it's all over the place. So cut the end off, and then you want to cut it in half and then take the veins out. Okay, there's got to be some kind of instrument you can just kind of stick down in the middle of jalapeno and rip the veins out. Like it's this part here, it makes it really bitter. Be sure to get your seeds out. Just do both sides, lay them face down, and then just cut them up. You want to put these in smaller pieces as possible. You don't have to be special about it. I cut it one way, tried to cut it the other way, and then just started swinging my knife at whatever pieces looked way too big, right? Just being selective and just cutting everything. So just 1 jalapeno. Again, it's optional. If you don't want to use it, just set it aside. Take this, again, put it in the small side. Now, these ramekins, I got them for sale at, like, Target or something, like $3 for 2 of them. But you don't have to have those. You can put them on a paper plate, a separate napkin, whatever. Just set them to the side. All right, now you're going to work with your crab stuff. Again, if you're doing 2 separate batches here with jalapeno stuff, wash the board because it'll get all over your crab stuff. Now, this imitation crab, like I said, it comes in these rolls. We pull it apart when we did our what was it, like the fried crab chip stuff or whatever, and I showed you that. But what we're trying to do is just make these as small as possible. So the easiest way I've heard about doing this is taking your knife, cutting these down into smaller chunks, and then put them in a bowl. Okay. Somebody said you can take them and pull them apart with 2 forks, like we were doing for chicken to shred it, but it takes forever if you do it that way. So I found if you put them into this bowl and get your potato masher, man, or I'm just going to call it a crab smasher from now on, and then just work it over. It'll take a little while, and be sure to keep cleaning it out of your crab smasher there over and over, and it'll break it down to little bitty pieces. That way it really helps out. If you got like a food processor or something, that'd probably work too, but I don't work for that. So get you a decent sized bowl. We're going to have to do some mixing and stuff. So the first things first is your cream cheese. It's going to be 2 tablespoons of that. You can look on the outside of this. 2 tablespoons is 1 of these ounces. It's marked on the outside. A couple of different ways, especially since mine wasn't softened very well. You can just take your sharp knife, just run it along the line like you're doing your butter, and then just cut it, and then just seal the packaging. But it's kind of wasteful, I think. What I have to do is I open it all the way this way, and then open that corner. That way I can still lay the line down, kind of judge where that ounce is, and then scrape up all the rest of it, poke a hole in it. But then I still have foil to wrap over the end of it where it doesn't dry out near as quickly in the refrigerator. And just a quick reminder, if you gotta go to the bathroom while you're cooking, wash your hands twice. Once before and once after, because 1, ew, and 2, oh my god, it burns. Okay, so now you got your mayonnaise here. You gotta get 2 tablespoons of it. Like, it's hard to work with, I get it, and this is not the best way to measure liquid stuff, so what I ended up doing was going and getting my officially licensed living between paychecks spatula and scooping all that out in there. It works really well. Again, this is mixing, it's not necessarily baking, so it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be exact, just close enough. The spatula just really helps to get the stuff out of the measuring spoon. Again, 2 tablespoons of the mayo and on top of the 2 tablespoons of the softened cream cheese, and then you want to do your hot sauce next, right? It's just 1 teaspoon. It's a smaller one here. I try to get as much out of it as possible. I don't mind a little extra, and I had to make sure to get some on my spoon/spatula just for Jack, because I know he hates that. I ended up adding extra hot sauce in here because Texas, so I added 2 instead of 1. Lime juice, again, you only want to do 1 teaspoon of that. Just kind of put it in there. The hot sauce, again, is pretty much optional once you get this Old Bay stuff in there. The Old Bay seasoning is just 1 teaspoon. Level it as best you can. This is what adds most of your flavor. Now, again, the hot sauce, if you're not into the spicy stuff, is perfect to take out. Like, it's optional. It's completely up to you, but I enjoy it. Now, this is the part that takes the longest, is trying to get this stirred. You want to keep stirring it until it makes a bit of a sauce on its own, but that cream cheese just takes forever. Once you get it relatively lump-free, go ahead and add your jalapenos to it. The onions you're going to add later. This is our I guess our hards to the wets. it's not necessarily dry, right? So just give them a nice stir. Make sure everything's broke down. Now your crab, go ahead and add that back in. Sorry, I didn't turn it to the camera here. Just kind of shake it out, scrape it out, get as best you can. Get you a stiff spoon, a spatula, whatever to get there and get this stirred. Be sure to just get it nice and coated. Again, don't worry about bruising it too much. You got to break it up. If you missed some with your crab smasher earlier, just make sure it's nice and coated. Keep scraping it off the walls. Get it nice and mixed. And this is just about ready to put out on the table, right? Your cilantro and your onions you're going to add later. Your salt and pepper, the same as well. So just take these and set it up. I usually add, like I said, I'll put this to the side, let people add the onions if they want them. Again, they're optional. But here, I'll show you what I do. It's like I get it and put it on the small ramekins, hit it with just a sprinkle of my cilantro because it makes me think it's doing Southwest stuff. A little pepper, just a little bit, and then salt I don't really do, but I'm doing it for the camera, just for you guys, just some pink Himalayan salt, just to go there. A tribute to my father, because he likes putting salt in everything. Just a little bit of the green onion on the top. Again, just want to keep them next to anything, because as you're eating down, you'll eat the onions that are on top. And I don't like mixing them. It tends to just kind of drown out the flavor of them. So again, chips, whatever, crackers, you could probably do it as like a sandwich, I guess, as like a crab salad, but I'll have to revisit that, whatever. But this works out really well. It's well under our budget. You can eat it as a meal by yourself, is what I did. You can put it next to anything, like every other recipe, especially the Tex-Mex seafood stuff that I'm always talking about, putting something next to it. This is what is perfect. Your big expenditure is going to be crab at like $4 to $6, depending on where you're picking it up. But this works really well. I wouldn't use it as a meal prep because of the mayo and stuff, because it's hard to reheat that. If you do need to heat this up, or if you feel like heating it up, putting it in an oven for 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes, and then pull it out and put some of the mozzarella cheese on top of it, melt it down a little bit, makes this a nice hot crab dip. But yeah, try this one out, man. Let me know what
And there you have it, folks. Super simple, super easy, like Southwest Texas crab dip. This is my Gulf Coast. It's one of my favorites. If you do it differently, you want to see us do it differently, you want to let us know how we're screwing up, put it down in the comments, man. That's what they're there for. You can also find us on social media and let us know how wrong we are over there. You can find us at Facebook, Pinterest, Patreon. You can find us all those at Living Between Paychecks Kitchen. You can also find us at Instagram at Living Between. I'm headed shorten it down over there. You can also find me on all of those, as well as Twitter and over on TikTok, where I've been just doing some random nerd stuff over there and a couple of little recipes here and there. So that's cool. I'll see y'all next time. I'm gonna go eat crab dip. Yeah, it sounds like an insult. Like, go eat crab dip. Like, yeah, it's delicious. I guess I'll go eat crab dip, man. Whatever. Y'all be safe.